This is a graceful liuzi tree. Ruslan accidentally discovered it while jogging. Even though his wife, Alina, was not satisfied, Ruslan was determined to bring it home. It looked like an ordinary tree, but Ruslan is extremely attentive to it. He cut the branch and fixed its leaves, took care of it little by little. The living room is also more and more chaotic. This also caused Alina to be completely uncomfortable. He talked to her softly, teasing his wife. This also made the liuzi tree side watching, crying heartbreaking tears. Since moving it back, the house has never been quiet. Ruslan rubbed every day. Every day in the house is considered like a treasure. Just like that, day after day, a round is completed, finally turning it into a convex and convex liuzi tree. This is staying together and treating coldly Alina full of charm. Ruslan hurried out to work. The liuzi tree almost smelled the danger too. Alina took out a vacuum cleaner to clean up. Just finished cleaning, the liuzi tree began to make leaves falling. Alina looked. This was no respect for each other, and threw a towel at the tree. The thorns of the liuzi tree were all protruding, saying that it certainly revenged that. The liuzi tree sprouted thorns, intentionally dropping a few leaves, when Alina hurriedly picked up the leaf. It directly stabbed her, causing her hand to bleed, but when Ruslan returned, he discovered that the liuzi tree had been moved, and all his anger was poured on Alina. It's really all a hell trick of the tree liuzi. Alina immediately poured out the wine glass and threw it directly at the liuzi tree. Unexpectedly, Ruslan not only did not comfort her, on the contrary, he was heartbroken for the liuzi tree. Then he talked about the couple at the head of the bed arguing at the end of the bed to make up the moment the two hugged. The liuzi tree also sprouted two arms. At night, Alina had a nightmare, dreaming that she was beaten by the liuzi tree. On the second day, Alina encountered terror and grabbed the knife. When she was about to take action, Ruslan stopped in time. But he was completely awake at this point. Late at night, the strong wind, Ruslan buried it in the woods. But when he returned home, and was preparing to apologize to his wife, he found that there was only Alina's pajamas left on the bed, and a tree having human shape. So Ruslan specially made a poem. The world is amazing. Cheerless toys look very funny. Life needs love. Finding yourself is the most important thing. Bothered you. This is a weird old photo. The old man just passed away a few days ago. Ruslan immediately moved into the large room. Their photo still glared at this time. The bike turned on its own. Ruslan heard the sound and rushed to check. Oh man, why did my dad fall to the ground? He hastily hung it on the wall. But after he finished pulling the curtains, the old man over here started acting weird again. So who made the bike moving? Ruslan drew the curtains again. The bike stopped by itself. This immediately made Ruslan's whole body tense, scared him not to do it anymore, and went upstairs to sleep. Who would have thought that he was thrown down by a mysterious power, completely out of control of himself? Ruslan in a panic rushed to hug the stairs. But this time his hands and feet did not listen to him anymore, immediately pulled him to the front of the bicycle, stiffly being carried to the car. The old man just motivated. Ruslan couldn't control the bike. The faster he pedaled. One look from the old man, time began to run backwards like lightning. Ruslan suddenly changed his clothes and went directly into the past. But now the old man in the photo is no longer visible. Here he met the old man's dream lover, Alina. It turned out that Ruslan was the old man who rushed to go on a date. But at this time Ruslan's wife returned to find him, did not see anyone, discovered the bike under the photo was also nowhere to be found. Just as the wife panicked and didn't know what to do, Ruslan and the bicycle suddenly returned. The two people who knew the truth suddenly got goosebumps. Ruslan at this time decided to kill all, even himself. Taking the kerosene lamp, was not afraid of the old man's anger, and immediately burned the picture with one shot. The old man, extremely angry, intended to die with Ruslan. At this time, the old man directly lifted his sword and shot it to stab his wife. Ruslan also refused to control again in the dream. But in the dream, there was also a big fire. As soon as Ruslan in a dangerous situation, the fire brigade arrived in time, so he successfully escaped an accident. This young man successfully sent the old man away.